welcome to today's webinar. My name is Ushka. I'm the Marketing Director here at Whisbi. Lovely to have you join this webinar about automotive industry. We're going to speak about how you can harness your web traffic and increase the number of pre-qualified leads on your website with the help of conversational marketing. So firstly, before we get started and before we introduce our host today, Vanessa, I would just like to take 2 minutes and briefly explain how this webinar solution works that we're using today. It's actually Whisbi's one-to-many live video chat. It's our own solution and it's basically broadcasting live right now from our offices in Barcelona to unlimited number of viewers. Everybody who wants to join the webinar can just do that by pressing a button on our website. Basically, you can see at the bottom of the screen there is a chat bar, so feel free throughout the session, just type in your questions or your comments. We're going to go through them at the end of the session. We have 15 minutes ready for your questions and answers, so don't be shy, introduce yourself and just drop us a question. We're going to be more than happy to answer. And you're going to notice that after you send a message, you're going to see automated message popping up, which is going to ask you if you want to speak with somebody in real time. So we actually have here our conversational marketing experts who can connect with you during or after the session into a one-to-one call where you can go more into details about your specific use case and find out more about conversational marketing and ask anything that you didn't have a chance to ask today. We also have a like button on top. If you like the session, please press like. And we also have a feature that rates us as presenters. So if you click on my picture on top of the chat, you can give us a rating from
5 stars.
Yeah, 5 stars. And there is also a mute button, which if you press it, you're not going to hear us. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. So now, Vanessa, please, you can introduce yourself.
Great, yeah. So nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Vanessa Goslow. I work very closely, Whisbi works primarily with automotive and telecommunications companies worldwide. So I've spent the last 5 years of my life, day in and day out, talking to automotive brands about how they can increase conversion on their websites and improve brand awareness using conversational marketing. So I will be talking to you guys about this today and sharing some insights. And especially sharing the story of one of our automotive customers who's using actually this solution, Whisbi One-to-Many, to increase conversion on their websites.
So I'll just put on some slides for you guys, so it's going to be easier to follow. There we go. They should appear on screen any moment.
Perfect. So as Urshka mentioned, we are going to be talking today about harnessing your web traffic to increase the number of pre-qualified leads using conversational marketing. And we're going to be doing this specifically talking about the automotive industry. I've already sort of introduced myself, so we can sort of skip over that. But basically what we're going to be doing today is talking about a current consumer trends overview. So then we're going to lead into what is conversational marketing, and then also how you can leverage it to improve lead generation on your websites. And then, as I mentioned before, at the end, we'll be talking about how our automotive customers are utilizing this solution to increase the number of sales leads on their website. So let's talk a bit about consumer trends. Do you guys remember these companies?
I kind of do. I remember taxis.
Well, back in my day, I used to get in the car and drive down to Blockbuster Video to rent a movie, or I would drive over to Borders to buy a book, or I would hop into a taxi. But now these companies are sort of obsolete, these concepts are even obsolete because of companies like Netflix, Amazon, and Uber. So,
Wow.
It's not, before it was very much about going and doing something and getting whatever you needed later. Now it's very much about on demand and right now. And customers are used to having tons and tons of options and tons of information at their fingertips. So, and the good thing for us as consumers is that all of this information is now free. So I recently purchased a new car and it was an amazing experience because mostly because I didn't really even have to set foot in the dealership. I did all of my research online on websites and on third-party sites, and I made the decision pretty much about the car that I was going to go with before I even set foot in the dealership. So, I was able to basically walk in and drive off the lot that day. Basically, every industry now looks like a shampoo aisle in a supermarket. In a world of infinite supply, buyers have all the power, not the company. So what does this mean? It means whoever makes it easier to buy wins.
I love that. That's so true.
So true.
Yeah.
Blockbuster went out of business because Netflix made it easier to buy. Borders went out of business because Amazon made it easier to buy. Taxis are going out of business because Uber, or here in Spain, Cabify, makes it easier to get around. So, I have all these apps on my phone that make my life easier and make everything that I need really instantaneous. I was on a flight last night and I was able to stream, or I downloaded some movies on my phone that I watched. When I landed, I got a Cabify to take me home. Once I got home, I realized that I was out of coffee, so I went on Amazon and ordered some Nespresso that came to my door the next day. So all of the industries are adapting, but there's one industry that's still a bit slow to adapt. And there are so many reasons for this, but the reason that we're all here today is to talk about how the automotive industry can really jump forward into the now, essentially.
The now.
Yes. So what does the current approach look like for a lot of automotive websites?
Yeah, so right now, I'm sure you know because you work in this industry, basically you invest all your advertising dollars into bringing people to your website, and then once they arrive there, they're faced with a form. Forms are static, they're hard to iterate. They've been the same since the age of 90s when internet was invented. And basically it's not engaging. It's like a blocker for them to be able to speak to someone. So what you do after you fill out the form, you become a lead in the CRM. You sending them nurturing emails, then there's a lot of steps and qualifications that they need to go through before they are a qualified lead and they are able to receive a call from a dealership.
This is so true, and I'm seeing it every day. I know that automotive brands are investing a lot on digital right now, but even with all of this investment, this sort of format is still very much the same. You can really think about your website like a store. Actually, in the automotive industry, your website is your first and biggest and most important dealership. So imagine that your website is a store or a dealership, and you do all of the hard work as a marketer to get people to go into this store. And they're walking around, they're checking out your products, and you have a ton of salespeople in there, but they're just ignoring the customer. And then the customer leaves without buying anything, and on their way home, they get a call from your salesperson saying, "Hey, how are you? So glad you came by earlier. I saw you checking out those boots or that car or whatever."
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just talk to the customer while they were at the store? Right now, we're very much ignoring the people that are on our website. We actually did an automotive industry study in January of this year because, as I mentioned before, we work with a lot of the key automotive brands worldwide, and we found exactly this, that customers want interactions that match how they live, work, and play. They want to communicate with companies, and they want to do so on their preferred channels and receive personalized service in real time. So some of the findings that we found from this study were that 67% of car buyers consider alternative brands if the buying process is too complicated.
Wow.
So true. 38% of car buyers don't find the information that they need on the manufacturer's website to make a purchase decision. 33% of car buyers agree that an automated chatbot is great if it can answer simple requests like booking a test drive, and we see this with a lot of our customers as well. And 60% of car buyers have left a configurator because it was too complex and too complicated. Complex configurators, I'm seeing it all day and every day with our customers.
It's just impossible for somebody that doesn't know anything about cars like me. I stop at the color. To be honest.
Yeah, we see that the configurator is a huge drop-off point for a lot of our customers. So it would be very beneficial and valuable to be able to put real-time assistant on that configurator. Real-time assistance. 55% of respondents want to be able to arrange test drives online without having to call or set foot in a dealership. And what we're seeing now is that dealerships literally don't get a chance. In 2005, the average automotive customer visited 5 dealerships. In 2007, that number was down to 2.6. And in 2009, it's down 2.5. So I think you see the trend.
I mean, how many dealerships have you visited when you bought your new car?
1.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what does this mean? It means that customers are visiting less dealerships, but they're visiting more and more websites. So once they visit the dealership, the decision's already made. This means that your website really has to perform.
Yeah.
So that leads us to our next topic. What is conversational marketing? Conversational marketing connects your brand with the customers on your website in real time. And what it really helps do is to find leads among your web visitors. So how do you harness your web traffic to get good quality leads?
Good question. So basically, I think it's fair to say that most car brands marketing is pretty good, these days, and they know how to get traffic to their site. I mean, just look at how many monthly web visitors we can see in all these car manufacturers in the US. It's in millions even. So getting traffic to your website or qualified traffic is another story and for sure a different webinar. But we want to look at what to do with those people who have arrived to your site already. So you get visitors. If we were in a dealership, this is where your staff would be able to engage people browsing around the cars, and get an understanding of whether they intend to buy. And on most sites, we just lose this. So we ask customers to fill out forms and generally create friction in order to qualify them. But with conversational marketing, we would look to engage these visitors and filter out the ones who have real purchase intent. So the question is, how do we filter them out? Well, it's about finding those quality leads in your visits, not really generating any new ones.
Absolutely. And one way that a lot of our customers are doing this is using live video. Video is the way many people want to get their information in the moment. Yeah. Video is the way that people retain more information. And they spend, of course, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah. This is how people get content these days. People spend a lot more time on websites with video options, and they're much more likely to convert. From WordStream, we were able to see that the average conversion rate for websites using video is 4.8% compared to 2.9% for those who don't use video. However, because purchasing a car is quite complex, pre-recorded videos are not enough. People need support, they want that human touch. So this creates the option for you to give live broadcasting options to your customers, like the one-to-many service that you're using now.
Yeah.
Getting your sales staff to broadcast live with car demos and while taking questions from visitors who have joined the broadcast will create a really high-quality experience and reduce friction for customers at the same time, basically bringing the benefits of a dealership to the website. We also have the possibility of using a sales hybrid chatbot to engage with the viewers while they're watching the broadcast and to bring them further down in the funnel. Yeah. We'll talk more about this in a second here when we bring up the case study.
There we go.
There we go.
The moment that everybody has been waiting for.
So again, Whisbi works with a lot of automotive brands, but one of which that's using this live video broadcasting capability in a really great way is Hyundai. Hyundai is using this one-to-many. They're broadcasting about 8 hours a day from one of their dealerships, and they have experts doing vehicle walkarounds in real time and answering questions for their customers on their website. Yeah. This does a great job of building brand awareness, and they're also able to explain the features of the vehicle, of the product that they're talking about, and answering these questions in real time and really providing this human touch. So basically, what were the goals of implementing our one-to-many solution for this customer? They really wanted to improve online customer satisfaction rates. They wanted to create quality engagement with their online customers, and they wanted to send qualified leads to their dealerships. These are 3 things that we specialize in.
And here you can see on the slide now, it's basically what you see right now. It's the webinar that you're attending, but hosted by Hyundai and launching their new car.
Absolutely, yeah. So it works in exactly the same way as the webinar that you're watching. So again, customers are asking questions to vehicle experts and they're answering those questions in real time. So what are the results that Hyundai is seeing from this project? One thing that's really powerful is they were able to reach 1 million viewers during 9 months, averaging about 780 viewers per hour.
Wow.
This is really powerful because unlike the webinar that you're watching now, people don't usually sit around for an hour to watch the broadcast. They usually are organic traffic or coming from campaigns. They'll pop on, ask a question, watch for a little bit, get enticed by the video, and then they'll pop off.
Yeah.
So what were the results from this? 14% of these viewers were engaged viewers, which means they watched the broadcast for more than 3 minutes. This is a really powerful statistic because in 3 minutes you can really explain to your customers why your brand is better than the competitor that they're researching. 3% of these engaged viewers clicked on the one-to-many lead generating chatbot, which is very similar to the button that you see below here that will connect you with one of our one-to-one experts here. 16% of those who clicked completed a test drive request at their local dealership. What this meant for our customer, Hyundai, was that 630 pre-qualified leads ended up at their dealership. So really, this is powerful because even though the one-to-many is very much a brand awareness and engagement tool, they were still able to get leads from this solution. The average number of questions asked was 8 every 30 minutes. So this is a really powerful way that customers were able to learn more about the brand. And 50% of the viewers that watched loved the broadcast. So they clicked the like button, like you guys should do right now.
Yeah.
The customer satisfaction with the presenters was 9.3 out of 10. The results really speak for themselves. 93% customer satisfaction. And even though that might sound like a soft metric, because as I mentioned, one-to-many is really this brand awareness tool, it really can prove that customer experience makes the difference between abandoning a site and converting.
Totally agree. So, in conclusion, basically, we have here a quote which I think is very powerful and very insightful from the CMO of Hyundai Mexico. And he said that Hyundai was able to improve their online sales and customer experience by reducing buying friction points and purchase barriers, such as contact forms, or you have to visit the dealership in order to get familiar with new car models. So by implementing this live video chat on their website, the brand was able to combine existing online tools with the level of service and knowledge, which I think is key, achieved at a car dealership. So imagine all your staff knowledge and the service that you get at the dealership is now available online on your website for all those millions of visitors who come to your website looking for information and deciding on which car to purchase. Also, another point that I think is very important, that considering, as Vanessa said, that Whisbi One-to-Many is a customer engagement solution and it's made for building brand awareness and widening the top of the funnel and was not built as a lead generation or a sales solution. I mean, these results have surpassed all of these clients' expectations, and I really think they set a new standard for new car launches in the automotive industry, not just in Mexico, but globally.
Absolutely. So that concludes the presentation portion of the webinar. Now we're really going to open it up to answer any questions that you have. So as we mentioned before, we're going to go back into the camera mode and we'll be able to answer any questions that are coming through.
Okay, so I have here a question from Alex, and he wants to know, what is the average broadcasting time?
Well, that really depends on the industry, on the campaign, on the project that we've set up. In the automotive industry, like we said before, we're tracking customers that are watching for more than 3 minutes. So we see that people will watch for a couple of minutes at a time. Most people won't sit for a whole hour. But again, it really depends on the industry and on the focus of the broadcast. The idea would be to capture their attention and push them through to more of a sales action, like going through to our hybrid sales solution, or maybe to a lead form where they can put in their information to connect with your brand.
Yeah. Also, we don't run one-to-many sessions just for automotive industry. We're also experts in telecommunications. It's actually one of our biggest markets.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that because I had a question here. What other industries do you have experience working in? Jake ask this question?
Sure, yeah, so as I mentioned before, we primarily work in automotive and telecommunication, but we also have experience in travel, retail, insurance, and banking. But I would definitely say our sweet spot or our focus is automotive and telecommunication.
Yeah, definitely. And here is another question. Chatbot or live chat? What do you recommend? This is from Jessica.
Oh, that's a good question. So in our experience, the combination of the two is really, really powerful. So being able to have a live webinar like this one, where you have your experts talking about your products or promotions or maybe a new product launch, is really powerful to get customers interested. But then once they're interested, you can actually overlay a chatbot over this experience where the customer can click in and be connected in real time with one of your experts. That expert can be in a store, in a dealership, in a contact center, wherever that person might be based. But the idea would be to combine the two for stronger results. And we have a lot of experience in these projects. So if anybody on the webinar is interested in learning more, you can either click on the button below and connect in real time with one of our one-to-one experts, or we'll send some information to you afterwards following the webinar on some more studies in automotive or telecommunication industry.
Yes. You can also visit our website, Whisbi.com, and if you click on resources, you're going to find different ebooks, research papers we've done, like thought leader articles that were written by industry leaders. So there's a lot of resources for you to get familiar with conversational marketing and also with the solutions that we offer here at Whisbi and how we are helping global brands grow their digital revenue. Okay, so back to the questions. I have another question here. This question is from Marta. Which are your biggest telecom clients? How can I get to know more?
So you can go on our website. There are a lot of customer success stories on there, but I would say one of our biggest telco customers is Vodafone worldwide. So we're live with them in about 6 countries now. We work with about 21 telecommunications companies worldwide. And some of those business cases, especially around the Vodafone story, are on our website.
Nice. Right, we don't have any more questions. Maybe our viewers are a bit shy today, but maybe you could tell me what are the concerns that you're faced with when you speak to leaders in automotive industry. What are the daily struggles? What are they trying to overcome or fix, let's say, to get more qualified leads from the website?
I think the biggest pain point really that I'm seeing is the fact that static lead forms don't convert, that customers are going on the website and they're abandoning at really key moments in the buying process. So as I mentioned before, configurators are notorious for drop-off. And another thing that's quite interesting is some automotive brands are moving more towards e-commerce and trying to get leads further down the purchase funnel from online. With no assistance. So this is really difficult for customers because, as you mentioned before, you drop off at the color. And I was the same way. I don't know anything about engines, and a lot of these customers don't know. So I think these are some of the pain points. On top of, the dealership, working with the dealerships and making sure the dealerships are following up in that, star A+ way that the brands expect.
Right. And how do you...
It looks like we're getting some more questions.
Okay. So here we have another question about car configurators. So they're interested in our hybrid sales solution, which allows agents to share screen with the customers. So they're asking if that's possible and if they can guide them through a car configurator, for example.
Yes, absolutely. So imagine you're watching a broadcast like this about, your next model of car, and you want to go to the next step in the journey. You can go through this hybrid sales chatbot and be connected in real time with an expert who can answer any questions you have about the car.
Yeah.
Or if you're on the car configurator and you're feeling like overwhelmed and you want to drop off, you can connect in real time with an expert that will actually pull up the car configurator, the page that you're on, and answer your questions using screen sharing. So this is really, really powerful for our automotive customers, but also for our telecommunications customers who, when their customers are in the middle of configuring an offer, there's convergent offers, there's bundles, that's also a drop-off point. So it's a really good opportunity to provide real-time engagement for your customers.
Yeah, I think it's really important, no matter which industry you are in, that you look at other industries and what kind of innovation is happening there. Because if people can get their phones online and they can get real-time help when they're buying their insurance or opening a bank account, they're gonna want the same when they want to buy a car, you know. So I think that's an important fact.
Absolutely.
You know, that the leaders in these industries have to consider, and especially when they are starting the digital transformation. Sometimes I see like a leap from totally assisted, and they want to build a chatbot internally who's gonna be doing completely unassisted sales, and I think it's also a bit unrealistic, and I think that's why a lot of leaders have like doubts about starting an innovative project like this one, because they just don't trust it or they failed in the past.
Yeah, that's why it's really important to work with a partner that has a lot of experience in this. And I think it's really interesting that we're working with such different industries. So automotive and telco and insurance and banking, they all have sort of similar pain points, that they have complex offers, customers are confused about, you know, what they can buy. And so being able to provide conversational sales assistance in real time is super powerful for our customers.
I totally agree. We have another question here. Actually from Vanessa. Oh, she has the same name as you. How quick is the implementation of this solution?
Well, it really depends. The one-to-many solution, the one that you guys are watching us on now, is very, very easy to get up and running. It's a line of JavaScript code and an iPad in front of the presenters. So we have some projects that have gotten up and running in a matter of a week or so. Our hybrid sales solution is also pretty easy to get up and running, and we can be live in about a month. So, you know, Whisbi is a really light implementation. We have a lot of experience in this stuff, so we can make it sort of quick and easy.
Awesome. All right. We don't have any more questions.
Any other questions, guys?
No. I guess we've covered the topic pretty well, you know. It was a pleasure talking to you. I think you gave us a lot of insight and knowledge that, you know, throughout your career you have been kind of generating and trying to help those leaders in automotive industry to improve their business performance. And, you know, especially in today's digital age, everything is becoming digital and can be very overwhelming, as you mentioned as well. It's not just from the consumer side, but also as a marketer myself, I know how overwhelming it is when I see, you know, all the marketing technology landscape available, and you just don't know what to choose, what works, what doesn't. So I think it's great that, you know, you've been sharing all this knowledge with us today.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone for watching us today. I hope you learned a lot and you can take away some good insights.
Yes.
And like I said, if you need any more information, you can always reach out to us via our website, and we're happy to hear from you.
Yes. So basically, if you want to contact us after the webinar, you're going to see a floating button on our website. So basically, you can at any time, any day, you just click on the button and you're going to see our chatbot appearing, where you can decide if you want to speak with somebody in real time or not. If you want just some more information about specific products, you can get ebooks, videos, but the best thing is to connect with somebody in real time. We have two options via voice or chat, so depending on your situation, where you are. It also works on mobile, and we mentioned that, but it's a mobile first solution. So honestly, whenever you want, just come to our website and connect with one of our experts, and we will be more than happy to show you how our solution works and how we can make you a success.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a good day.
Bye.